Well, howdy do, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, the 3rd of October, 2024. I had to jump on here because Cackling Kamala gave a speech the other day and once again threw me for a loop. So, everybody knows about the devastation that happened in North Carolina and surrounding areas by the hurricane. And Cackling Kamala came on and was very excited to announce that they are going to provide $750 to the affected people in North Carolina. I literally sick to my stomach about that. If you look back just a few years ago, not even a few years ago, maybe it was only a couple months ago, the Maui fires, okay? People lost everything there as well, and Joe Biden was tickled pink to announce that he was going to give them $600 each. These people lost their houses, their cars, everything they owned, food. Grocery stores are closed. There's nowhere to even get stuff. And our federal government is offering them $700. And in North Carolina, $750. That is what they come up with as an aid package. Now, if we remember back, a few years ago, we had the vid pandemic. They told you couldn't go to work, you couldn't go anywhere, and once again, they offered you $600 per person in an aid package to assist you in not working, not getting any type of money, to stay home. They forced you to do that. And they told you that they would give you $600 per person per family. Other countries gave their people literally their whole salary for the year or more to stay home because they know that you cannot live on $600. That's just, there's no way. You cannot take someone going to work, even on the low end and making $25,000 a year or less, and give them $600 and say, this is what you've got to live on. That is what they're telling these people in North Carolina and in the Maui fire situation and in the vid situation. $600 and $700 seems to be the magical number. I'm only guessing we went from $600 during the vid per person to now $750 because of inflation. That's the only thing I can come up with. And this will probably get censored, this video, most likely, because they like to try to shut me up because I tell you guys these things and they don't like it. I would have thought that as being Mr. Dadbod that I would get censored for saying something inappropriate sexually or whatever. But apparently they're more interested in me telling you the truth about what's going on in the government than they are any of the other things that I talk about. So basically what I wanted to tell you and share with you is, obviously you guys know about this. You know that this is what the United States government is offering the American people who have lost everything, who cannot work, cannot go to grocery stores, cannot do anything. Their aid package is $700, $750. And when you were told to stay home in 2019, 2020, you got a $600 aid package per person to stay there. That's what you were supposed to live off from. And they made it sound like they had just broke open their piggy bank to give you this money, like you were twisting their arm to get it from them. Okay? So now I'm going to give you some numbers that have just happened in the last couple of years. Your tax dollars, what they take from you every year that you pay in just to the federal government, not Social Security and anything else. This is just what they take in taxes. It's $4.4 trillion a year is what our government takes from us every year. 4.4 trillion. Okay? Currently, the United States government is $38 trillion in debt because of our government spending. the ridiculous spending habits and spending on other countries where they can launder the money back. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But that 4.4 trillion that they take from us every year in taxes, their payment on interest on 38 trillion is $6.13 trillion a year. Did you hear that? Yes. It's more than what they take from us in taxes. So there's a deficit. There's a problem. They're taking 4.4 trillion. They're spending 6.13 trillion in interest payments. There's a deficit. That's because of inflation, interest rates, the amount of money they're printing. There's no gold to back it. They are spending like a broke person who just won the lottery. These people have no accountability for the amount of money that they're spending daily of our money that they take from us. They take it from us. And they're supposed to be representing us, looking out for our best interest. But yet, they're just spending like crazy. In the last year, we've sent $38 billion to Israel. Since 1947, the United States government has spent $400 billion in Israel. Okay? Just since Joe Biden has took office and the war in Ukraine has started, the U.S. has given $175 billion to Ukraine. That is just what we know about. That's not including the pallets of cash, the wire transfers of $1 billion every month. This is just what is on paper that is known as $175 billion to Ukraine since the supposed war has started. They have spent in the last year $1.6 billion to Iran. Iran is the one who is threatening DJT. The president of Iran was just in this country and had all the protection he needed, but DJT can't get any of that protection, even though the president of Iran threatened his life. Let that sink in, okay? But we gave them $1.6 billion in the last year. We're paying Israel $38 billion to fight Iran. We gave them $1.6 billion. And we also gave $8 billion to Taiwan this year. The amount of money that our federal government is giving to other countries is astronomical. It is surpassed trillions of dollars. And as a taxpayer, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to send my money to other countries. When my brethren here in the United States, in North Carolina, lost everything. In Maui, they lost everything. Some people are still recovering from the vid at being locked down for 1.5 to 2 years, not working. All of our money is going to other countries so they can launder it back and be rich. I mean, look at every congressman and senator and anybody that works for the federal government. Only make $175,000 a year. But they all have mansions. They all have cars and boats and planes and private jets on $175,000 a year. How is that possible? Because they're laundering our money. They are scamming us. They are literally screwing the American people over and over and over again and again and again. In 2021, the Biden administration passed a bill and signed it into law of $400 billion for infrastructure. Okay? That was supposed to go to 40,000 projects over 4,500 communities. Okay? Look at what's going on. You have cargo ships crashing because their systems are failing. Planes crashing, falling out of the sky because they have not been fixed. They have to use old parts. roads falling apart, bridges falling on other cars. Where did that $400 billion in infrastructure money go? I can tell you, they keep that money. It is literally just a sham. All of these things that they vote on, these committees, these bills, they're 10, 15,000 pages. So that way you can't read the fine print. They're telling you that they're going to spend $400 billion on infrastructure, but they are not going to spend it on infrastructure. If they do spend it on infrastructure, Joe Biden's brother is the government contractor that they're going to hire. Just like they did in the Afghan war. Joe Biden's brother was responsible for a lot of the projects, the commercial construction projects that went down in Afghanistan. Billions of dollars were given to that man. And I don't think they fixed anything. So here's my thing. Okay, I'm going to read. This is the Constitution of the United States, okay? Right in the very beginning, there's just a very short blurb, okay? It says, in Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the cause which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unreliable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. They get their consent from the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizations, its powers in such form, as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness, and prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for the light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable, than to the rights themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Okay? It goes on. But basically, it says that it is the government works for the people. They are voted by us. We put them in. They work for us. And if we have a tyrannical government and they are abusing their power, which clearly, as you can see, they are abusing their power for money. They are making us homeless and destitute to steal our money on the daily basis. Our government is corrupt. Now, it says clearly in the Constitution, if you have a corrupt government, it is the right of the people to have a well-formed militia to keep them in check, or to create a new government to get rid of the people who are compromised. Because these people are compromised. I'm telling you this now. They are compromised beyond all belief. They are stealing your money, and they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. If you were paying a contractor and he wasn't doing the job that he was supposed to be doing, but yet he was still taking the money from you, what would you do? These people are stealing money from you every day to send it to other countries so it can be laundered back to their pockets. And they expect us to just keep taking it and allowing it, and them to keep getting away with it. Well, I'm saying that as Americans, we should find our voice and we should stand up and end this nonsense. We need to figure out how to get a new government in there, because that is the right of the people. And if anybody wants to donate to North Carolina and the damage that had happened there, or Maui, or anywhere, you can go to ministriesofthewest.org, put in the comment section where your donation goes to, that where you would like it to go. If you want it to go to North Carolina, if you want it to go to Maui, or if you just want to generally help other people, go to ministriesofthewest.org, donate, and we will make sure that that money gets there. Because our federal government obviously is not going to help our fellow brethren. And the reason that I created Ministries of the West is because when I seen the truck drivers who were standing up to what was going on during the vid, and GoFundMe stole their $200 million because they did not like their political affiliation, that is horrible. That should never be allowed to happen. So, Q&A Ministries of the West is what it is. It's a ministries where you can have questions and answers, but it's ministriesofthewest.org is the website. You can go there, put in the comments. If you donate and you want it to go to North Carolina, that's where it'll go. If you want it to go to Maui, that's where it'll go. We will make sure that it gets where it's supposed to go. And we will make sure that the government, obviously, they're not going to help. We know that. So we will make sure the money gets where it's supposed to go to help these people. So, like I said, this video was informative. I hope you get to see it. I hope they don't censor it. But if they do, there's nothing I can do about it. I will share it everywhere, and you can most likely find it on X. So have a good day. We'll see you on the next one.